You are bleeding out, but you cannot see the blood. Every notification, every open tab, every fragmented thought is a cut that drains your most vital resource. We live in an era where currency is abundant, but attention is critically scarce. Yet, most people trade their focus for cheap dopamine hits hundreds of times a day without realizing the cost. The ancient masters understood something that the modern world has forgotten. True power is not found in accumulation, but in the absolute, unwavering ability to direct the mind to a single point. If you cannot control where your mind rests, you are not free, and you are certainly not wealthy. Chapter 1. The Economy of the Mind. In the golden age of the samurai, there was a concept known as *Zanshin*. It translates roughly to lingering mind or remaining mind, but its practice is the difference between life and death. It is the state of total awareness, where the mind is not fixed on the victory or the defeat, but remains fully present in the action itself. A warrior who is thinking about the glory of winning has already lost, just as a man thinking about his next paycheck while doing his work has already disengaged from the craft. Today, we do not face swords of steel, but we face the swords of distraction that slice our consciousness into ineffective ribbons. We believe that doing more things makes us productive, but the samurai knew that chasing two rabbits means catching neither. Consider the story of Elias, a man who by modern standards had achieved everything. He was a high-level architect, surrounded by the tools of his trade, managing millions of dollars in projects, and living in a high-rise that overlooked the city he helped build. Yet, Elias was hollow. His days were a blur of emails, meetings, news feeds, and quick responses. He was physically present in his office, but his mind was scattered across 1,000 digital landscapes. He felt a constant low-level anxiety, a vibration in his chest that never settled because he never allowed himself to finish a single thought without interruption. He was rich in capital, but he was destitute in spirit. He had forgotten how to just be. Chapter 2. The illness of more Elias's suffering is the signature ailment of our time. We are taught that to be valuable, we must be multitasking, always available, and constantly consuming. But let us look to the wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman who ever lived. In his final work, the Dokkodo, or The Path of Aloneness, he wrote, "Do not seek to possess goods or fiefs for your old age." Musashi understood that the accumulation of things often leads to the cluttering of the spirit. When the room is filled with furniture, one cannot walk. When the mind is filled with noise, one cannot see. Elias tried to solve his anxiety by adding more productivity apps, more stimulants, more information. But this was like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. The turning point for Elias came not through addition, but through a forced subtraction. After a minor health scare brought on by stress, he retreated to a small cabin without internet access, intending to stay for 2 days, but remaining for 2 weeks. The first few days were agonizing. His brain, addicted to the constant feed of information, screamed for stimulation. He felt bored, restless, and irritable. This is the withdrawal of the modern mind. It is the proof that we are not masters of our own house. But as the days passed, the noise settled. He began to chop wood, not to finish the chore, but simply to chop wood. He began to walk, not to get exercise, but to move across the earth. Chapter 3. Ichigyo-Zammai. This brings us to the Zen practice of Ichigyo-Zammai*, or one-act samadhi. It is the practice of full concentration on a single act. When you eat, you just eat. When you walk, you just walk. It sounds simple, but it is the hardest discipline to master in the modern age. For Elias, the practice began with his morning coffee. Instead of drinking it while checking the markets or reading the news, he simply sat and drank the coffee. He noticed the heat, the aroma, the weight of the ceramic mug. He reclaimed that 10 minutes of his life from the void of distraction. This was not wasted time, it was the accumulation of wealth. To apply this, you must understand that focus is a muscle, and like any muscle, it creates resistance when exercised. When you sit down to work and you feel the urge to check your phone, that is the enemy appearing at the gate. The undisciplined mind opens the gate immediately. The warrior mind acknowledges the enemy, but keeps the gate shut. Elias returned to his high-pressure job, but he was a different man. He established a fortress of silence in his schedule. For the first 4 hours of the day, his phone was off, his door was closed, and he engaged in deep work on one single task. He did not reply. He did not react. He acted. Chapter 4. The Void. Musashi wrote in asterisk, the Book of Five Rings, asterisk about the void. He said, "By knowing things that exist, you can know that which does not exist. The void is the place where clarity lives. It is the silence between the notes that makes the music." When Elias stopped reacting to the world, he gained the power to shape it. He found that by doing less, he achieved more. His designs became sharper because his mind was not cluttered with the debris of other people's opinions. He realized that wealth is not the numbers in a bank account, but the amount of time in your day where you are fully autonomous, fully conscious, and fully under your own command. The path to this wealth requires a ruthlessness that society deems antisocial. You must be willing to be unavailable. You must be willing to miss out on the latest news, the trending drama, and the group chat. You must be willing to be seen as boring by those who are addicted to chaos. Elias lost some friends who only wanted his attention, but he deepened the relationships that mattered, because when he was with someone, he was fully with them. He gave them the gift of his presence, which is the rarest gift of all. Chapter 5. The Return to the Self. Discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you are capable of living. But discipline is not about punishing yourself. It is about protecting yourself. It is the armor you wear against the arrows of distraction. You must build your own code, your own Bushido. Decide today what is non-negotiable. Perhaps it is 1 hour of silence in the morning. Perhaps it is removing the television from the bedroom. Perhaps it is the refusal to multitask. These small acts of rebellion against the modern world are the stones upon which you build your temple. True wealth is the ability to sit in a room alone and be at peace. It is the ability to direct your will like a laser, cutting through the noise to the heart of the matter. The world will try to steal your time until your dying breath. It will dangle bright colors and loud noises to keep you docile and distracted. But you are a warrior of the mind. You have the blade of focus. Keep it sharp. Keep it sheathed until the moment of action. And when you strike, strike with everything you have. This is the way.